All right, how you doing today? Today we'll be taking a look at some really cool hidden features in Logic, some hacks and tips, tricks, whatever you want to call it. This is part one of the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. I have hundreds of other videos in my back catalog, lots of Logic Pro stuff as well, a bunch of free VST plugins, all that fun stuff. Anyways, let's just get right into this. Any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and let's go. Okay, so in the drum kit designer here, under MIDI effects, we have this plugin called Scripter and the preset called Drum Kit Designer Embellishments, and we can add flams and crescendos, cymbal rolls to the drum kit as well, tom rolls, and you can change the octave of where it's playing on your keyboard. Or just move them around to whatever note you want. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have this trick where you can actually hold down Option before you open up the plugin settings here. And you see this legacy thing here, and we have all these extra plugins, speech enhancer, it's a couple of reverbs, a noise gate, compressor, the old guitar amp that Logic used to have. There's a bass amp in there as well. Guitar amp sounds pretty cool on drums too. We also have this speech enhancer and denoiser here that you could test out. And speaking of denoisers, we also have, if you go under audio units and then Apple, we have a sound isolation here as well, and as well as a bunch of other little plugins. This one works very good too. Check this out before. All right, so I'm recording this on my after. All right, so I'm recording this on my iPhone. I got the window open a little bit. So really cool. Like I said, there's a bass amp under the hidden things too. Old skull reverb that works very well. Okay, so this one's not really a hidden feature, but this comes in very handy. Let's say your window's like that in Logic. You have another window open over here. Let's say we have open sequencer for whatever reason. If you double click on this on the top bar here, it's going to instantly make it like a full, not a full screen, but take over the screen. You can double click that and get that back to the way it was. And if you do it on the main Logic window, it just fills it in the screen. It doesn't go back. Actually, it does. There you go. I did it before. It didn't go back. And that works on all the apps within Mac OS. Well, not all of them, but your web browsers and stuff. So that's a pretty cool trick. I just discovered that one day by accident. Comes in really handy for piano roll stuff if you want to get a bigger piano roll screen here as well. And speaking of piano roll, this feature is not really hidden, but it's really cool for the session bass players, the session or the studio bass, the studio strings, the studio horns. We have all these different articulations over here. So this is just a C note right now, playing on the bass. But we can check different notes here and change the articulation. Put a slide into this note. Make that note slide up. Make harmonics, ghost notes. For the bass, there's a lot of them here. So that's pretty cool as well. Now let's talk about moving the mastering effects plugin to other channels. This is a really cool hack, if you will. So we have the mastering assistants, and I have it on these other channels here. Check this out. So what we want to do is we want to analyze, when you open the mastering plugin assistant, it's going to analyze the song. So what we want to do here on your mixer, go to copy channel trip settings, and then we have, you can paste it onto other channels. Now, I have a bass here, for example. If I paste it like this, you go to paste channel trip settings. Notice the bass amp and reverb there. It gets rid of those. So the extra hack is to send your bass guitar or whatever instrument you're doing to a bus. I have drums here, and I have the bass here, and I just put the bus to bus 1. I'm now on auxiliary 1 here, which is bus 1. I paste those settings, paste channel strip settings. It's already done. I have to reanalyze the signal. Now it's reanalyzed for the bass. Loudness, compensation, I'd like to turn that on so it's not overbearing. And then we have this on the bass. Before. After. I did the same thing on the drums. You have to reanalyze it again. Before. After. Pretty cool. And using a similar method of copying the preset channels here, say you have a live bass. Logic has a bunch of preset bass settings in here for you. Say you want to make some more of your own, not really of your own, you're just borrowing them from the session player here because they have all their other different settings with different channel strip settings here. So maybe we want a crunchy vintage setting, and we can just copy that, copy channel strip setting, paste it over here, paste plugins only, and then we could save that as for ourselves, save channel strip setting as, and we could type in crunchy vintage. It'll go to your tracks. I have a folder called bass guitars, and you would just save that there, and you're good to go. Now we have that on our bass track here. Before. After. And those are some other ones I did the same process with. Pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about some chord track hacks here. So we have our chord track here. By default, it's 8 bars, and that kind of drives me crazy sometimes. So we're going to shorten that real quick here. Go to the right-hand corner, drag that down. Then we could copy, option, drag, and then we have 4 bars here on the chord changes, if you will. And then we can put our chords in this way, and we can chop these up. Do the same thing if we have chords that are like that. Let's create our instruments. We could create rhythms with the chord track. So let's say this part here where it's just the F chord. Let's ungroup these real quick. Okay, a little rhythm track here with the chord, still playing the same chord. So now for the drummer, we're going to follow the chords. And even though that's the same chord now that we have chopped up, it's going to follow that pattern. So that's pretty cool. You can do all kind of creative rhythms just on the chord track, and the piano and bass is doing that too. Now if I turn it off of the follow the rhythm, it's just going to play that beat. So that's a way to spice up the piano and drums and bass as well. All right, so cool. There you go. A bunch of really cool hidden features, hacks, and tips and tricks. Check out part 2 of this video for even more. Please do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. That is all for now. I will talk to you soon.